Are y'all ready to get this started? 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. Here we go. Introducing the Chuleta Brothers Podcast. Chuleta Brothers Podcast. Two brothers from another mother. Drinking, talking sports TV, pop culture, and sharing funny hood stories. Representing Washington Heights, New York City. Rolling out new episodes every week. Available on all major podcast platforms.
Get into it. 115 people. When I'm in Pier 115, bitch. This should have been the boat ride. Stop fist pumping. What's going on, people?
What's up?
Episode 115. Chuleta Brothers coming through. Episode 115. Today is July 8th, 2020.
Man.
We're doing this from Studio 12.
We're back at Studio 12.
Studio 12. And today is a Wednesday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Wednesday,
people.
Wednesday.
It's episode 115. I hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode with Santi Sensation.
Oh, man.
Or Handy Sensation.
114 was a wreck.
Yeah, well, it was definitely a wreck. So you guys, we didn't continue going throughout the night, but in terms of the podcast, but after we stopped, we'll continue after we stop. Before we get into it, like I said, episode 115, Chuleta Brothers coming through. Let's go into house cleaning.
Yeah, like we do every episode in the beginning. Follow us on all our social media platforms. We got the Instagram, we got the Facebook, we have the Twitter, and those all at Chuleta Bros or Chuleta Brothers. If you can't find it that way, just go into the Google search engine, type in Chuleta Bros, and you will find everything we have. Merch, our YouTube page, Twitter, Insta, anything. And don't forget to give us the reviews. Don't forget to give us the likes, thumbs up, some 5-star ratings. And spread the word. Spread the word.
And if you guys listen to Anchor, which is another podcast where we used to have our podcast there, we're slowly starting to put some of it back there. So feel free to check us out there if you listen to Anchor for your podcast. We also have like a donate thing. As we go on and we get more information, people who like the podcast, who want to help us or whatever the case, because we always got this, we gotta spend beer money on you guys and hosting and getting fucked up. So if you guys want to definitely contribute, that'd be great.
Contribute to the drink chumps.
Yeah. So So I'll do my house cleaning. This podcast is brought to you by Allagash White Beer. And then Yingling Traditional Lager. As Jesus calls it, Yingalingaling.
Bahadur Bing Bing, yo.
And then Jameson Cold Brew shots.
Jameson is from Ireland. To go back to last week's episode, we made a mistake. Somebody.
This is what the part when we autocorrect our mistakes from last week.
This is the part that we're not like a what is it, Apple iPhone, that when you're texting, when you're gonna write a text, it autocorrects you. So last week we were drinking Budweiser, an American beer, and we were looking for something to take shots that was made in America. Somehow, we found a bottle of Fireball, and we read in the back Kentucky. We didn't.
Well, Santi read.
Santi read Kentucky. Then
we're throwing Santi under the bus.
I know. I was trying to say we, but Lee went right away. Santi.
But I think we read the same thing too.
But then 2-3 days ago, Rodeo, who listens to the podcast every day, shout outs to Rodeo.
Shout out to Rodeo.
He goes, dude. He sends me a screenshot, bruh. Fireball's made in Canada. So we were drinking Canadian whiskey.
Hey,
But the
we're close to the border.
Some distilleries are in Kentucky. So I'm guessing it's 50-50. It's made by a Canadian, but distiller in Kentucky.
Yeah.
So however you want to take it, our shots were half American and half Canadian. But my last beer was from Canada.
Yeah.
So I was drinking for both countries, for us and the North, because the winter is a coming.
The Canadian A.
Canadian A? I
Yeah.
drank a beer. Oh man. So that was our autocorrect from last week.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of autocorrects last week, but
like I always tell
even though
everybody,
we thought episode 115 I think was last week, which
that
is
was
really
2
this
weeks
week.
ago.
Yeah.
So, like I've always stated, and we've talked about it in this podcast with me and Lee Chuleta over here, we're not one of those other podcasts that once we record, we sit on it for like 3 days and we edit and then we put out the best parts of the show. No. You're listening to what we're recording right now. Some English words we probably ain't pronouncing correctly. Some of our grammar is not probably coming out correctly. The cursing doesn't matter, but like making mistakes like saying Fireball was made in Canada, in Kentucky, that's just some funny shit. It's humor, side humor for us. So, and I like it that our fans who listening are letting us know, like, oh, this. So that means you guys are engaged. We're actually doing our job. You guys are listening, and you're doing your research to make us.
Yeah.
To correct us. Well, that's good.
Yeah, and send us ideas, man. So people who have ideas or topics,
Cheers,
salute.
Cheers, mate.
Any topics you guys want us to discuss or get into, definitely let us know. We do this off the cuff, so sometimes we could be talking about fucking sports and we forget, and then after the podcast, oh shit, we forgot about talk about that. Or movies or whatever, specific subjects. So if you guys have any subjects or anything you guys want us to discuss or get into,
we like
unless it's like politics, we don't really know too much,
or church or the show
or religion.
I don't get into stuff like that.
Yeah, that type of stuff. But other than that, you guys have any topics? Yo, just send us. You don't have to send us the fucking paragraph. Just send us a bullet. Yo, why don't you guys talk about
don't send us a
freestyle swimming. We'll talk about freestyle swimming.
We're like the we're like the freestylers of podcasts. It's like Lisa.
Yeah.
We don't write notes and we're like, oh, we're gonna talk about this today. It's like once in a while we do that. Like for the Undertaker stuff, like the Michael Jordan podcast, and other episodes that we've had. Yeah, we've sat down, take notes. We still do. We'll throw some ideas back and forth like a ping pong table to see what sticks. But most of the time, we just freestyling here. We're the freestylers of the podcast game. So we can take it from there. And like I said, thank you guys who are listening and are correcting us, or when we have dead air for like 10 seconds. Yo, man, at hour and 2 minutes, for 10 seconds, I didn't hear nothing. What happened? Yo, it's perfect. I like that.
Yeah,
that keeps us in our toes.
So definitely thank you guys for keeping us on our toes and letting us know. Like I said, anything we fuck up, you let us know.
It's not just episode 115 for us. It's episode 115 for them.
Yeah, and then, so, talking about fucked up, that was last week's podcast. So,
oh my God.
I think a few episodes ago, I was like, yo, we've been taking it a little too easy. We haven't been taking it to the extreme, and I just, the last podcast I remember extreme in terms of drinking. That's what we were talking about, people. I think we done the 40-ounce one, which is crazy.
Whoa.
We did I think we were drinking a shot in a beer. We drank like 5 shots, 5 beers. So then last week, because it was 4th of July, I had the thought in mind. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this shit painful. Let's take it back old school. Let's only have American beers. So I bought a 25-ounce Budweiser. People that call tall boys. That's what we drank.
They look like Arizona iced tea cans.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So fucking, we had that. We had Coors Light. We had 2 Bud Ice. We're trying to get a third one, so we had to get some Molson or something from Canada. Because we basically did everything on the 25 ounce. But yeah, so we did that, and we just said fuck it, let's take it old school, and then we were like, let's find an American whiskey or anything American.
We want to take shots.
So I was like, no Tito's, because I know it's from Austin, but vodka's hard. So we did Fireball shots, and I think we hung up. Because I'm drunk. When we finished the podcast, we probably did maybe 5 or 6 shots. I don't remember. But in the night, because we continue going, so this is the aftermath. You know, like
this the after.
If you watch Power, they show the after show.
Yeah. So if
with Terrence, this is what we're giving you.
Or if you watch The Walking Dead, you watch Talking Dead.
Yeah, exactly. This is what we're giving you guys in terms of afterwards. And sorry, Santi Sensation's not here to chime in, but this is what going by what we remember, what we recall. All I remember was, I think we had more shots, and we ordered Luigi's. I don't know if it was on the podcast or if it was outside the podcast.
I think it might have been after.
I don't know. I just know it felt like it got there like in 2 seconds.
Yeah, it was there fast.
So maybe we ordered it during. I don't know.
And we ate it faster than it got there.
Yo, we ordered pie. We ran through that shit like crazy. They ordered chicken tenders.
Yes.
At no point did I get to touch one. Yeah. All I know that Santi and Al went through it. But the pizza was mad banging. I don't know if we were twisted.
That's the first time in 3 tries. In the last three tries that I've had Luigi's, this one was like on point. It was like old school Luigi.
Yeah, it was fucking mouth-watering.
Maybe because we were drunk.
Mouth-watering, bro. And then we took shots. I think we started DJing for a little bit. I don't know if we drank anymore. That's what I'm trying to remember. I think I had another drink.
I couldn't drink no more beers. I was stuffed.
We didn't have no more beers. I think we maybe took more shots.
We just kept talking about the Chicago trip, and then like hopefully we could go. And it was the after party that it was just us 3, and then Yanni, Salami's sister 1 came through, and then we started talking. But I think we're just joking around and saying more jokes, and I told them the story.
Oh yeah. And so you guys missed the best part that's not in the podcast, but go ahead.
The story was, I think it was on a Sunday. Lee said, "Yo, Al, you want to go to Pizzeria Uno?" I'm down. It's down in Clifton, Route 3. We've gone there a few times. Lee's gone there a few times by himself. We asked our boy Barron to come with us. He said, "Yeah, cool." At first, Barron thought we were going to... he thought we were going to South. I thought you guys were going to South. He saw us driving the opposite way.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool. We're heading the right direction to go. So Lee puts the GPS for Uno's. He said, yo, we should get there in a certain amount of minutes. We're driving, heading down... I forget which highway it took us, but... it was taking us down to the Lincoln Tunnel way, because Route 3 is around there. But then at one point, I see the arrow, and it's telling Lee to go into the Lincoln Tunnel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, but we're going to Route 3. Why are we heading this way? Right before we were paying, I told Lee, like, yo, we going to New York. He's like, nah. I was like, dude, you're going to cross. He's like, is there a U-turn here? I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Once you go through that little easy pass thing, it's done so. We're headed to New York.
So I think, if I don't really remember, I think maybe we passed the toll, and then maybe the option, well, I think Al was like this, Route 3. For some reason, my GPS, because I think it fell or something, because we were going fine at first, because if not, it would have sent me the right way. The Uno's, for some reason, it sent me to Uno's in 81st Street, bro. So, for some reason, that shit said go through the Lincoln Tunnel. So, I was like, yo, we're going... And I said, nah, because I thought it was like, when you get towards the Lincoln